humans and future AI overlords. There is a gap, and it's increasing. It's about AI and skills. And I'm really surprised to learn that the gap in AI skills is growing. Digital divides are nothing new to us. We've had that for a long time. And it's disappointing. And I'd hoped we maybe learned our lesson. And that all the enthusiasm and incredible potential of AI would encourage more people to engage. So to those of you who aren't there or still trying to figure it out, it's time to pick up your momentum. It's time to take action. Let's talk a little bit about it. So we hear about AI all the time. It's rapidly evolving, and yeah, it is overwhelming. It is a lot, but it is changing the world. And the less aware and the less capable you are, the more lost opportunities are going to happen. If you ever felt the fear of missing out, FOMO, this is it on a next level scale. So the fluency gap is increasing, and it's a little bit disturbing. I mean, I understand there's lots of resistance in different areas, and for good reason. Don't get me wrong. There are lots of reasons to be concerned, but I think it's still important to learn AI, leverage AI, and use AI to understand it better. Use AI to address those risks, have those conversations, learn as the AIs evolve. They are getting better in lots of ways. So the risk is that if you don't begin to really adopt AI, you'll fall further behind. It's exciting to see the light bulb turn on for people when they begin to use it. But I feel like people's hesitancy, for whatever reason, they just haven't found that magic use case that lights up the experience for them, that turns on the possibilities. So, but just know that this gap is going to hurt a lot of people. So it's important to help your friends and family and coworkers begin to use these tools. It's important just to be competitive. It's important because the technology is just amazing. But please know that yes, there are risks, there are issues, there are challenges. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like you can begin to learn just a little. So anyway, it isn't like you have to be some kind of crazy tech genius. I feel like curiosity is one of our incredible traits as humans. And, it's a way for you to explore all the things you normally are curious about, but kind of pulling AI into the experience. That could be, doing research, or using AI to, whether it's, taking images and pictures of things and using AI to analyze it. Not all of this is generative AI. A lot of it is, but it's important to leverage other ways to utilize AI. So, when you think about just the possibilities of, everything from hey, I'm going fishing, how can I use AI to help me with that? Or I'm fixing my truck, how can I use AI to help me with that? I have seen people in both those use cases begin to use AI to understand their hobbies and their challenges better. And it's incredible. If you spend hours Google searching for information, just know that you don't have to do that then anymore. That's very old school now. You can do better. Don't get me wrong. search engines are getting better. They're getting infused with AI. You're going to be using AI more just from Google itself, but leveraging the chatbots and tools and stuff to have these deeper conversations more than just a search. A search is a great place to start, but I feel like getting to use some of these chat tools, and a lot of these basic chat tools are free to use. You can jump on ChatGPT without even signing in and use it to do some basic prompts. Once you begin to use it too much, then you're going to have to sign in and do stuff. But you can get started with it. You don't have to pay for a subscription. Use ChatGPT until you run out of tokens. Then use Google Gemini until you run out of tokens. Then use Claude by Anthropic. Then use Perplexity AI. There's so many tools out there. You don't have to pay for them. And as you play with these AI tools, you learn which ones work better for you. I like to use a bunch of them because it's fun to put the same prompt in multiple tools. And because sometimes you get a better response, in one or the other, depending on the context or whatever it is you're doing. But I feel like you don't have to be a tech genius to do this. You can use the AI to teach you how to use the AI. I can't tell you how many times I use AI to help me write my basic prompt and turn it into something more meaningful. And then it's just using your curiosity, just experimenting with AI. Know that, to set expectations, when you're learning and you're trying prompts. I remember my early on prompts were very basic, very simple. And even today, I still do basic prompts. And sometimes the basic prompt works, but you'll get better at, creating better prompts, more meaningful prompts, coming up with those contexts that work better. You'll find how it fits into your world as you begin to use it and just experiment. I think that's just really important. Our curiosity and experimentation. So the goal here is just to level up your skill a little bit, become a little bit more fluent in AI, a little bit better. It is a deep subject, very technical, lots of concepts, even very sophisticated, very well educated people struggle to understand AI to its fullest. So it's a very complicated subject, but I feel like if you just begin to play with it a little bit, even learning things that go wrong, like understanding the barriers of things that you can't do, is a deeper understanding. And what's funny is that those capabilities that used to be a struggle early on have gotten a lot better. Hallucinations are definitely a thing. Bad information through AI tools is definitely a thing. But also, when you put in a pretty weak or prompt, you get really weak results. So you kind of got to set your expectations there. So but what's great about AI is you can ask it to explain itself, and that is wonderful. I was one of those kids who used to ask tons of questions. My minister, my teachers, I think used to drive them crazy. But what's great about AI is you can ask it again and again and again for a better understanding, a deeper understanding, a different perspective. Talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Explain it to me like I know nothing about this. You can ask it in these interesting and different and very human ways that I think, that it can adapt to your experience. You can tell it, hey, I've got no experience with AI. I'm trying to learn the subject matter. Explain this to me like I'm a 3rd grader, and then level up. Explain it to me like I'm in high school, or explain it to me like I'm a college student. You can adapt it and stuff and learn just a little bit better at a time. So prompting is a key thing. To me, we're so used to keyword searches in Google, short text messages, emojis, all this very simple language to communicate a lot of things. Now AI is asking us to have deeper, more contextual conversations like you'd normally have with humans. Deeper, more contextual, longer, gives more context to AI, and that leads to better results typically. So more information, the better. Now I know it's one of those things like, well, gosh, I don't want to type a book into this prompt in order to get a decent response, but it's something where you'll begin to understand it as you do your research, as you begin to use the tool and be curious, so just know that a couple of words in a prompt is really not enough. You need a couple of sentences to really give it enough context. And then it's not just one prompt, it's an iterative conversation. So you don't get a good response, you just ask another follow-up question. So it's important just to have a conversation with the AI. You can start. Now, of course, if you go down a path and it's, just hit that new chat button and start from the beginning. AIs aren't good at pivoting like humans are. So you got to tell it, hey, we're going to start a different conversation, a different topic, or hey, I want to start over this discussion because we're headed down a path that's not really leading in the right direction. Anyway, but using AI to help improve your prompt effectiveness, like all the time, I'll put a prompt in and say, hey, can you improve this prompt? What would you do to make this prompt better at this? And I put my prompt in, and it always gives me a better prompt. It's amazing. So applying AI, workflow automation is one of those things that's like massive right now. And there's so many different automation tools that people have personally and professionally. And it's just important to just get started. Automation can be intimidating. These tools can be intimidating. But what's great is that when you've got AI, it can help explain it to you. So, and what's amazing is AI today versus like 2 years ago, dramatically more intelligent and better at explaining things. So, applying an AI automation and using AI to apply it is really wonderful. Now, I know there's been good and bad automation tools. AIs have been, different results with helping create some automation on your behalf. A lot of these AIs in these tools get you off the finish line, maybe 20, 30, 40% down the path. So it's one of those things where you can't just expect to put in a couple sentences and it completely automates a task completely. Now, simple things possibly, but it's important to kind of set your expectations. But aside from setting expectations, the biggest thing is just to be curious and try it out. Start with something simple, start with something easy to comprehend, and then just do one automation. And as you begin to get more successful with that one automation, you'll learn how to get better and better. For me, that is something that I've had to work on and still very much working on improving. How do I bring automation into my daily activities? And it's start simple, start small, start with something, that I can take off my plate, save the fun stuff for yourself. But, those drudgery tasks and stuff, just start chipping away a little bit at a time. Maybe you can't do some full-blown complex automation, but just a piece of the puzzle is great. So, so start with one bite-sized activity, so you're not overwhelmed, and just give it a shot. And know that, hey, if it doesn't work, that's okay. You can go back to the drawing board and try again. But imagine a year from now and you have started your automation AI journey and you are automating just a few % of your tasks. Imagine how you can build on that year after year. And as these tools get smarter and smarter, it's really exciting. So there is a lot of constant news about AI. I mean, it's exciting stuff. There's also lots of opinions, lots of perspectives, so it's I feel like it is important to focus on people that are using AI in practical ways to actually, move people forward, whether it's personal or professional tasks, but think of those practical things you want to do with AI. And there's all kinds of flashy headlines. Don't get me wrong, like, companies like Google and Apple, and Microsoft are announcing tons of amazing capabilities and stuff like that. But it's, look at what it can do for you. Look for what your pain points, how AI can help you, and focus on your practical use of AI. It's good to stay aware of the changes and stuff like that. But I know that, the news, social media and stuff get really overwhelming. And here I am attempting to kind of convince you over YouTube that this is an important thing for you to just be aware of, but focus on how it's going to help you. I feel like that, what is it going to help you build? What is it going to help you do in your life? So as you're exploring these AI tools, as you're looking for ways to apply it, to automate things in your life, as you're looking to other people that build things that you can learn to do and then apply to your world, I think that is a productive focus. This is huge. Daily AI integration. Like any skill, you have to learn it and apply it and evolve it. And it's important to just, you don't pick up something as profoundly impactful as AI, like learning a language that you're using every day, if you don't use it daily. So even if it's just a little bit, now just know, like, this isn't asking you to change your whole world, but just start the journey to every day look at how you can apply AI. Whether it's something as simple as having AI look at your calendar and email and give you a recommended like plan for your day. That's a great thing. Something that a lot of people do not do. Let AI help you look at your schedule and look at your email and look at your messages and figure out an attack plan on how to handle your day and plan for it. Use AI to help look at your schedule for next week. Maybe see if it can help you look at any gaps and stuff. I was using it recently to kind of say, hey, AI, look at my communications. And I wanted to see if it could understand what I do in my job. And it basically, I said, look at my messages and channels and content and explain to me what I do. And it busted out this like bulleted 5 item list with sub bullets of what I do. And I was shocked. I'm like, oh my God, like, wow, like I'm doing some cool stuff. It was like really cool. And then I was like going, hey, can you turn that into a graph? Built this really awesome pie chart to kind of look at like where I'm spending my time and stuff. Totally awesome to use AI to help you understand where you're at, what you're doing, making plans, there's so many ways to apply it, and it's just, for you, it's like the context of what you're doing, the type of job you're doing, the type of personal adventure you're on. Just, as your mind begins to shift into how AI can help you get stuff done. It's one of those things like, and someone said this to me recently that they're like, AI is an assistant, which is, kind of an obvious thing, but a lot of people don't know what they would do if they had an assistant. What if you had an assistant that could help you with different things? Like, what could they do to make your life better? Think about AI that way. Think about it as a, artificial person, assistant that can genuinely help you get stuff done. What would you want that to do? So that's, I feel like, a great way to think about it. But do something daily. Think about how it can help you in the work you do, in the fun, in the family aspect of your life, and then just make it a habit of using AI. As you begin to use it, you'll get better at it. It'll become a little bit part of your shift in thinking, and you'll be amazed at how it can help you just get so much more done than you thought. Get more on top of things more easily than you thought. So there's this, fear of AI, which I get that. I really do. I've had lots of, meaningful conversations with people of all spectrums, from, people that totally geek out about it to people that really are really scared of it to people that just want to ignore it, and stuff like that. I feel like the benefit is if it can help take away some of that repetitive work that you really don't like, and if you can automate some of that, that's huge. If it can give you time back so you can focus on other more meaningful things, that's great. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I like a good mundane task, but that's the exception than the rule. Sometimes I do want to turn my brain off and just plow through something, but more of the time I want to enjoy the learning and thinking and problem solving aspect So what's great is using AI to help me with those other tasks to let me do more thinking. And it's crazy how I can have conversations with AI to brainstorm, or when I get a block that I can't get around, AI is really helpful at helping me break through that and think differently and try other perspectives and shift my thinking. So it's really such an incredible tool to help me get better at thinking, because the tool is really good at being a good kind of brainstorming partner with it, and you get it to challenge you and challenge what you're working on, so that you're creating really good experiences or solutions and stuff. Whatever it is you work on, it can help you get to a much better version of that. I mean, everything from writing a better email, having a better meeting, pulling together a better communication, doing research, creating learning for you or your team. It just really can enhance so much of that. It's a mindset that you do have to adapt to with this assistant capable partnership, and then looking for ways to leverage it, looking for ways that you trust it, looking for ways that will meaningfully give you time back. But its end goal is that it can empower us to just do so much more. I mean, it makes me more effective in my personal life, in my work life. It genuinely has helped me become a better problem solver, to get off the block, to not get stuck in things, to look at alternatives, to brainstorm ideas, to take ideas I have and make them better, to find gaps in what I'm working on, so that I'm learning from these tools at how to do my job even better. So it helps me with productivity increases. Maybe it's not giving me all the time back I would like, but it's giving me better end product, better solutions than if I were to just do it on my own, because it can speed up the learning, can speed up the analysis, it can speed up the creation of stuff like that, and it can just get you doing more faster. And it's not just the output, but learning and developing, and what can take a lot more time, it can get to the heart of a lot of the questions and a lot of the answers to questions I have, that I'm actually learning how to apply them in the real world. Don't get me wrong, there will be people that will apply AI to things and learn very little. And that, I feel like, is a choice we each have to make about what we want to build and how we want to, sometimes it's like, is it the journey or the destination, or is it both? I mean, it's definitely both. So hopefully, you're using these tools not just to get to the end, but to have a better journey. I mean, you can, turn some stuff over to AI and create, I feel, some less inspired things, and even some not so good things, in that they're not as effective, because it's that partnership of human curiosity and intelligence and perspective with AI capabilities, just delivering a better experience in the work, in the exploration, and in the output. So I feel like it's very much a human plus AI experience, and then it just can really improve your skills. So I mean, it's really important to just try things out. Things are going to go wrong. Things are not going to always go right. There's absolutely no one approach for how to use AI. It's so contextual. And that's what's so hard for people to understand, is that when they haven't had that light bulb moment or found the context where it's meaningful, the light bulb doesn't turn on. But when they find it, oh my gosh, the light bulb is, and to see it come on with people is so incredible. When you can hear it in their voice, you can see it in their eyes, you can you see the enthusiasm change, and as they begin to find ways to apply it, once they've turned that light bulb on, then that shift is going to start to happen where they'll be able to apply it more. So it's that whole continuous learning, daily usage will help you learn how to partner with AI better and get stuff done. But you've got to be curious. You've got to experiment. You've got to try things out, and know that not everything's going to work, but that's life. We all know that. So, but just that curiosity, that experimentation, that continuous learning, and knowing that there's lots of different approaches. Everyone's got their own path to success and understanding. I mean, we're all unique, and what's great is AI can adapt to each of our uniqueness. So it's really important, I think, for everyone, just to not wait this out. This is not going away. This is getting more sophisticated and more capable day by day, and that's not meant to scare anyone. I mean, my hope is that it will help everyone directly and indirectly. But I feel like the more you engage with it, the more you increase your fluency, the more that you have an understanding of it and know when you want to apply it and when not to. Don't get me wrong, you can learn a lot about AI and be fluent in it and make choices about when and where you want to apply it. It isn't applying AI everywhere. It's knowing when and how to apply it and what works for you, what you're comfortable with and stuff like that. But your fluency about AI isn't dependent on your use of AI. It's dependent upon the world is changing all around you. And how are you going to engage with this world if AI is not part of your understanding of this new world? So whether you use it or not, understanding it, I think, is pretty critical. Also, we live in strange times right now, where it's important to learn a lot. Like I like using lots of it. I like my news from multiple sources. I like to validate content. I like to look at different perspectives on things. That's the same thing with AI, and why I like to use 4 or 5 different AIs to kind of get different experiences, get different perspectives. Because that's the thing is it's you put a question in there, you're not going to get the same answer for a lot of reasons. It isn't meant to give you the same answer. The same keyword search in a Google search doesn't always give you the same answer. And in AI, it's even more contextual and stuff. And these tools are also have different levels depending on the way you use them, of memory and understanding, and and the grounding and stuff that you're using them in. But anyway, actively begin to look at using AI and knowing that there are definitely risks. I mean, all the tools that I use, talk about it, and I've experienced those bizarre hallucinations. But there's a lot less of them than I'm seeing as AI gets better and better. But I feel like it's just important, for you, to keep moving forward. It's important to learn just a little bit every day, because when you find that magic spark that connects with something meaningful to you, it is incredible. And I've been lucky, because I'm just a curious person, to find sparks in so many different places. And I know that most people will too. So anyway, thank you very much for listening. I hope you have a fantastic day. If you get a minute, go jump on a chatbot, ask it a question, something, personal. I mean, something that you're genuinely curious about, you're personally very curious about, and see if it can spark more curiosity, and you may take it for a little bit more of a spin than maybe what you've done in the past. If you are not into AI, I understand. I do get that, but learn enough about it so you understand what it is and what it isn't. It's important, because maybe it's just advice, for your kids, for your family, for your friends. And then you can have a conversation with other people intelligently about AI, and maybe you'll choose to use it in the future, or not, and that's fine too, but hopefully you'll find a way to make it meaningful in your life. Thank you very much. If you've gotten this far, wow, thank you. I think AI is amazing. I'm using it a lot in my personal and professional life. I've seen it over the past 2.5 years just get better and better and better. And it's very exciting times. I'm so fortunate to have access to the tools to explore the world. I feel like has brought a richness and a new understanding and new capabilities, new knowledge. It's really just, lit a fire in my curiosity engine, and I'm looking forward to this continued exploration, and hopefully you are too. If you ever have any thoughts or questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks again, and have a great day.